Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Axon started out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. Imagine having 100 years of tire and wheel knowledge in your back pocket the next time you sell a piece of ag equipment. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit axontire.com. This podcast is also brought to you by Valley Transportation. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 or go to valleytransinc.com for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. This podcast is also brought to you by Ag Direct. No matter how you buy your ag equipment, from a dealer, auction, or a private party, Ag Direct can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving Iron.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Valley Transportation. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. I've got Parker Johnson on here with me for Valley Transportation, and I wanted to get him on this month to talk a little bit about what we see happening out there in the overall spectrum of the trucking industry. So last month, when we talked with Parker and Brad, we were talking a little bit about an article that I found, and it kind of revolved around the fact of there was some concern about the overall amount of trucks that were actually running on the road. And as we discussed that, it was more geared towards the van side and the reefer side of the business, and not so much the equipment side of the business that we rely so heavily on when it comes to working with Valley. But Parker, something happened between now and last month, and the price of diesel fuel jumped up about $1.50 or so. Most places you see on the internet, they're $5.50 to anywhere between $5 and $5.75. Even saw a few $6 ones out there. So I guess as you're looking at the overall spectrum now, that's a whole new wrinkle in this. What are you seeing happen now, and how much of that that diesel price is really hindering what you guys are doing?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, everything is, like you said, has went crazy. You got $6 some cent fuel out in California, and I think the East Coast is even going to get close to that now too. With sounds like they got kind of an issue out there with a shortage, and they're like 10 million barrels short or something. I just read, and I think it's going to play a big factor into what happens here coming up. But the past few weeks, the phones have definitely slowed down a little bit. So I don't know if people are getting sick of paying the high price of to get their stuff moved, or they're just waiting for it to cool off, or it's definitely changed since the last time we talked.
Yeah. So on what side of the business do you see the biggest effect on this right now? I mean, obviously on the equipment side, there's still backlog there, so that's going to have I think anyway, we still have a pretty steady trickle of stuff coming out of factories and whatnot. But is it the van side, the general freight side that you're seeing some issues with?
Yeah, a little bit of both, but yeah, definitely on the van side. Talking with our dispatcher that does their van stuff, and she said it went from the best it's ever been to back to bad within a week.
Yeah,
everything just stopped.
Yep.
The rates were low, even though the fuel is still at all-time highs. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be a backlash in the overall? I mean, I guess you're moving freight from one place to another, and if it's not getting there, I mean, at some point, do you think it's going to be just like we don't really care what the price is, we just need our goods type of thing, or do you think it's going to slow down enough to where people aren't buying as much as they were?
Yeah, I mean, recently that's what it's been, is people aren't caring what the price is. They're just telling you to go and get it. But with the phones really shutting off the past couple of weeks, it doesn't seem like, I think maybe that's what people are doing, is just waiting, hopefully, for better times ahead. But I don't know how long that's going to take.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess as you look at across the summer here, I mean, so you guys have several different segments of your business, but you have, you got the long haul over the road guys, you've got the regional guys, you've got the, all these different functions of your business. The regional stuff, do you still see it being more, since it's not necessarily a Chicago to Dallas type of thing, it's more of a maybe 200-mile radius or whatever it is. Is that staying busy?
Shorter mile stuff. Yeah, shorter mile stuff, and the freight cost isn't quite as bad, and we got so many local dealerships just in the Midwest right here that'll keep us really busy. Yeah. Unless the factories start slowing back down again, producing equipment, that's the only time it seems that it does get slow, is if we're waiting on John Deere. Yeah. Or any other factor like that. Yeah, yeah. When you're looking at, are you reading some stuff where the shortage thing, like you talked about that was my next question for you, was, that they're talking not necessarily just an East Coast shortage, but a nationwide shortage, just because of trying to get these refineries switched back up to be generating more diesel fuel than what they were. I guess from when your conversations you're having with people, are they seeing shortages other places too, or is it really out on the East Coast right now? I think I read something too. I think the Northwest too is getting short, but yeah, I honestly didn't even do a whole lot of reading into this until you mentioned it last week, and I was like, yeah, maybe there is a issue coming about. And I started doing some checking, and all these old refineries, they shut down during COVID because they weren't making any money. Right. Now it costs too much to get them back up and running, so they're not producing what they can. Yeah. That's them guys are taking way more money doing less, right? And not having any expenses. Yep. So there's only people that they're helping themselves. Right. Yeah, and it's and you would think that there would be some factor somewhere that would be a bright spot here when it comes to supply and the things we see happening, because I tell you, Parker, it feels like it's getting a lot worse before it's getting. I don't think it's gotten any better. No matter on what spectrum that you're looking at. Yeah, the past few times that we've talked, that's been a topic. Is it's not getting any better, and you think it should be. Right. I don't know if it's getting any worse. They might be giving a bunch of hope. Yeah, it's not getting any worse, but it ain't getting any better. Yeah, and it's just like that. You can't quite get over that hump, man. So I'll tell you what, it's a great deal. So I guess right now, Parker, as you're looking at what's going on, what advice are you going to give to someone when they call in and start asking questions about moving freight around? Probably the same thing I tell them every time. We are still extremely busy, so there's still a little bit of a wait time, to get stuff picked up, unless it's in certain different areas. So if you can buy equipment in them good areas and need them hauled, that definitely helps. Texas and some of them lower amount of freight, loads in them areas where there isn't as much stuff to do. But yeah, as of yet, it hasn't changed a whole lot on our side. It's pretty much been the same, but it is we are getting stuff picked up a little bit faster than we were, as it has slowed down some. Okay, good. But we still have 300 loads in our computer, or 350 every single day. Yeah. When we were at our busiest, there was 450 in there. Yeah. Well, at least you still got a good backlog. You know what I mean? You have a good solid book of business there. So anyway. Yeah, we still got a lot of good customers with a lot of freight to get hauled. So right on. That's what keeps us rolling. Yep, right on. Well, Parker, any final thoughts you want to throw out there before we shut it down? No, nothing. How about yourself? I'll tell you what, it's been this is just one more wrinkle to throw on top of that. You're looking at the price of diesel surcharges, and now the cost per mile is going to go up. We start looking at moving stuff around, especially like our business. We spend so much time moving stuff all over the place. Not necessarily just within our little area. We're moving stuff 500-600 miles away and picking up stuff 500-600 miles away and bringing it out to us. And the thing about it is, when you get out to where we're at, guys like you are trying to find that backhaul somewhere is going to get to be harder, and that's my big concern, is what does that look like? Are we even going to be able to get stuff as regular as we want, just because of the backhaul situation? Right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like California, we used to have so much freight out of California, and I'm guessing partially because of the high fuel prices out there. I mean, it's dried up out there. I mean, there's nothing to haul.
Yeah.
There's no equipment. I was talking to a customer of mine the other day. He said he put gas on his wife's car, and I don't know if it's all locations in California or just this one, but if you pay at the pump, they're charging you an extra 10 cents a gallon. For some reason, they want you to come inside to pay now. And I thought the whole thing of paying at the pump was make it easier and less work for the gas station.
Wow. Because that's a big deal now.
That's up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You put 20 gallons in, you just paid an extra $2 on top of your already.
Yeah, think of how many different cars are filling up in California every day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he said it was $5.89 a gallon for just regular gas, and then added 10 cents to it for paying at the pump, and it was $5.99 a gallon.
$5.99 a gallon for just regular gas. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to make that pencil.
Yeah, I mean, 95% of everybody just pays the pump because they don't want to go in the grocery store and wait in line.
Yeah,
you pay and you leave.
Yeah, that's the whole convenience of the convenience store thing. So,
right,
it's crazy.
I've done a little reading on the stuff like if they're going to start rationing fuel, and I haven't seen any articles saying that people are doing it yet. But I know like the Loves and Flying J truck stops out in like on the East Coast anyway, they said they are extremely short, but they haven't started rationing yet. But it could be in the works if they can't get enough fuel out there.
Boy, that'll make the whole 1970s thing all together just come back full circle. Then you have a wheat issue, you have high inflation coming, and then you're going to have an energy crisis. So that would be the late 70s all over again.
Yeah, I don't think I was around for that. It took a few more years for me.
Yeah, that's I tell you what, that's crazy. So, all right. Well, Parker, good conversation, man. Folks want to reach out to you and book some freight or just get some information about what you see happening. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, call me at 800-657-4910 or shoot me an email at pjohnson@valleytransinc.com.
Right on. I'm Casey Seymour with Moving Iron Podcast. Make sure you check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where you find the latest editions of the Moving Iron Podcast. Also go to Moving Iron LLC for everything Moving Iron related and all the information about the Moving Iron Summit coming up here in Nashville, Tennessee, September 6th, 7th, and 8th. Parker and the gang will be there, and they'll have a booth out there, and they'll have a little talk about what's going on in the trucking industry at the time. So with that, I'm Casey Seymour with Parker Johnson. Let's go move some iron, folks. Out. Axon Tire is going to have more tips, tricks, and client advice throughout the year and in September at the Moving Iron Summit in Nashville. If you're looking to sign up for the event, please head over to MovingIronLLC.com. We hope to see you there. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 or go to valleytransinc.com for all of your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. And no matter how you buy ag equipment from a dealer, auction, or a private party, AgDirect can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving iron in the 21st century.